Welcome to the Windows and Computer channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. And today, in our Tech News Update, well, India is the next place where Google is being investigated for possible abuse of its dominant position with Android, as the company already has a lot of these little investigations going on. Well, it apparently uses its power to make sure Android keeps dominating the world. And of course, India is the next place where some of the, they're checking that out. And we'll see where that brings, if any, problems to Google. If you are a Xbox user, Microsoft is now running the version 1902 of the Xbox One software. Although it contains mostly small improvements, there is of course a much bigger improvement coming up as the version 1904 with huge improvements will come in the month of April. Yesterday was Patch Tuesday. They released a number of patches for Windows 7, Windows 8.1, and Windows 10. Lots of critical stuff, and actually I'll have a video talking about some of the most critical stuff where bad guys are already exploiting some of the problems that were in the Patch Tuesday. So it's very important to update your machines. So just head on to your Windows updates. Make sure that you patch the computer. Well, Sony is making it very, very difficult apparently to cross-play on games, says developers. It's not zero, it's not totally banned, but they say that it's making it so difficult that most developers just don't even want to go there. Well, we have a leak of dates for the Worldwide Developer Conference 2019 from Apple. This is, of course, the place where they often talk about some new hardware, but lots of also new software, including updates like iOS 13 that should be coming up, and Apple Watch update and stuff like that. The date, June 3rd to June 7th, 2019, apparently. Well, last year, or for the past year and a half, we have had, of course, Microsoft telling us that Paint in Windows 10 would be deprecated and eventually removed. And a lot of you that would use Paint would see this message appear that, use Paint 3D, Paint is going to die sometime. Well, in the latest insider preview, many have noted that Paint is still there, but the message is gone. Does that mean that Paint will live on? That's interesting. Well, one of the things that a lot of people don't think about is print-related data breaches. According to Quasical Global Print Security Report, Quasical looks at this aspect of security, basically. It says that 60% of businesses around the world had reported some form of security breach with print. Why? Because there's so many things that can happen. First of all, of course, there's the growing security hazard of unpatched or unupdated printers that could be accessed from the web, for example. But also abandoned jobs. One of the things we don't think about is that often printers have RAM memory, and abandoned print jobs can often be reprinted on many devices just by accessing the panel. So there's so many things that make data that can be stolen. It can of course be stolen by distance also, by hacking into the printer. So this is interesting because it's an aspect that we don't really think about much. Well, smartwatches are gaining momentum in the United States. It seems that the sales of the smartwatch grew by 60% last year. Many like the fact that they can track their activities, use them to stay fit, and sales of $5 billion last year. That's a 50% increase year over year, but the market is already dominated by three players: Apple, Samsung, and Fitbit. Just these three companies is 88% of the smartwatch market. Glassbox is a analytics company that firm that actually taps into apps from companies and of course gets all sorts of data to let them know basically how their apps are used, and all of that. But last week we had a news item about many apps that were snooping, and Apple had kind of said, well, there's a lot of weird things happening. And it seems that a report from TechCrunch discovered that Glassbox is actually a big problem. Many big apps, like the Expedia app, for example, or Air Canada app, and many others, actually have been involved in major data breach because Glassbox apparently been snooping even on credit cards and passwords of apps. And all of that in the clear open, no encryption. So, try to find more info about this. Government watchdog in the US says that the big problem in the last 10 years is that of 101 privacy violations that it investigated, none actually had penalties, and all of them have been settled in agreements. And this, according to the watchdog, is unacceptable. Rules need to be followed, and if they are not, there needs to be some penalties. A survey of Silicon Valley employees showed that they want to see more regulations, as they actually see while working in the big companies that there's way too much data from users that's shared easily, and data isn't safe enough. There's a lot of leaks and data breaches possibility. And 59% of the 1,500 surveyed said that you need more regulation. This is up from 46% last year. That means they probably see things maybe we don't want to know. And this was a Tech News Update for Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. Enjoy our videos. Please subscribe. Give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.